Hello. What are we going to talk about today? Well, first I got to get out of this thing I'm in here. One of my shortcuts. Let's talk about talking. I have been retired for a long time, and I know that some of you people out there are probably looking forward to the time when you retire, as you should. So let's talk about that, because it's important for you to know a few things in advance of leaving the workforce. Like what? Like, well, how are you going to stay busy? Oh goodness, there's cars coming everywhere back there. So yeah, you got to have a little plan to keep you busy in retirement. I full-time RV, as most of you know, and I enjoy the hell out of it. The one thing I really enjoy about being retired is I am able to plan my own day my own way. Does that mean anything? It does to me. Because when you're in the workforce, as those of you in the workforce know, your life is dictated by your employment. In other words, you work so many hours a week, so many days a week, and you get a little time off to go do your grocery shopping and other stuff, and then it's back to the bump and grind again for 50 years or whatever you want it to be. Most people do 20 years or 30 years and out. Others depends, and that leads me to the next step. You know, knowing that you need to stay busy, and exercise it will help you stay busy. Taking a walk in the morning or walk or whatever, and reading is good and all that stuff. And you can fill your day doing those miscellaneous things. But how much do you need in the way of dollars and cents, C-E-N-T-S, not S-E-N-S-E, to retire? Well, that is wholly contingent upon how you want to live, your quality of life. If you want to have a big home and a swimming pool and a yacht and go to Europe and all that stuff, well, that's fine. I have no issue with that at all, other than it's going to be a little expensive, okay? It's going to be damn expensive. So, for those of you that are the average people of the United States, including myself, that live on Social Security plus a little savings, not much, and do that year after year in retirement, you can live damn good. In fact, my Social Security is about, I don't know, $1,600 a month, and it pays all my bills, and I'm able to save money. How am I able to do that? Well, it's quite simple, actually. I have no debt. I mean, the car I'm driving is paid for. My house is paid for. The only bills I have on a monthly basis are the water bill, the property owners association fee, electrical bill, internet stuff, and that's it. And so it's nothing. And then food, when you retire, I don't eat out. Eating out is expensive, but if you choose to do that, it's your choice. Eating out is healthy, unhealthy, and expensive, but that's your choice. So the budgets for retiring, will vary greatly depending on how you individually live. But here's where you can trick the system, so to speak, and that is sit down with pencil and pen and make you a budget. Say, okay, I'm retired now. What are my monthly expenses? Just play the mind game, so to speak. How much is rent or house payment or whatever. Just list them all out individually and be generous, you know what I mean, when you get to the miscellaneous expense and food and, entertainment and, those sorts of things. Be generous and see what that totals up to be. And I think that, at least in my case, it surprised me how little it was. But that's because I have no debt. So what does that say? It says that as you're doing your retirement planning, plan on being debt-free if you can, because financial freedom is basically being debt-free. The maintenance of your body and your home are not going to be that much. Okay, of course it depends on where you live. If you're caught in the rent trap, then that's another issue. Your rent could be quite a bit per month. But you know, but start. You know, even if you're age 50, it doesn't matter. You know, have you a plan? You know, because you will get Social Security. All those scaremongers that tell you that the Social Security fund is not going to be there for you when you retire are full of poo-poo. Okay, it doesn't work that way. There is no Social Security, quote, fund, and the government for years has borrowed money out of the excess income over payouts to do other things in the government, and they put in an IOU. Those IOUs will fund Social Security for many, many, many years, in addition to the money coming in from those in the workforce currently, because that's how it works. Those that are currently working pay Social Security into the, quote, non-existent fund. The money goes in and then is paid out to Social Security recipients and other things, you know, disability stuff and all kind of crap. So again, you know, do yourself a budget, and that'll be your financial planning for you. You know, and I'll give you this tip for those of you that have a lot of retirement money, you know, millions or whatever. Doesn't matter. That's just what it does. It just creates a bigger problem, you know, because some of you are going to want to handle that money on your own and not pay a fee to a broker or whoever manages money, and you're going to do it on your own. And if you start buying stocks hang on. Anyway, back to the retirement planning. I got interrupted there by a phone call, so I may have lost my train of thought, you know, the little train that thought he could. But yeah, you know, do your budget. And for you guys, that's where I was on the $1 Million People. You know, if you're gonna, I was a financial planner. I was a CPA. I mainly did, you know, handling of mutual funds. I didn't do much on the stock side because it was too damn risky. And but also did fixed annuities, variable annuities, you know, and you know, worked with pension plans and stuff. And you know, what I would say is once you reach age 60, you want to be really conservative with your investments, because if you lose a large chunk and you need that to generate the income you need to live on, then it's going to be hard to rebuild it. And then what you would do, though, you'd start taking more risk to recover that loss, and that's just going to be a snowball going the wrong direction, down. All right. So what I would say is be very conservative. You know, CD rates right now suck, you know, but you can get in some treasury bill stuff that might help you a little bit, get you 4 or 5%, and that's not horrible. And but if you've put yourself in a position at retirement where you do have a lot of expenses, and it's your investments must generate enough income to support that debt, then that could be a trap. That could be a trap. And if you get somebody to manage your funds for you, basically turn your money over to somebody to handle, like Bernie Madoff, then okay, it's your choice. But you know, there's two types of financial planners. There's a fee-based financial planner that you just pay a fixed fee to, based on the amount that you're going to invest, or however you want to handle it. They just charge you a fee, much like an attorney or a CPA would charge. However, a fee-based financial planner is going to be putting your money into financial instruments, whether it be you know, mutual funds, stocks, you know, bond funds, or whatever, you know, treasuries, whatever, you know, they come up with. And some of those, even though they're a fee-based financial planner, some of those, they will receive a commission. They will. I mean, because that's just the way it is. you know, and so it's really going to be hard to find a totally fee-based financial planner. You know, just that's all they get, because when they're handling your money, there are people that will pay them a fee to invest it with them. You see what I mean? And then you get into the commission-based financial planner, and that's a person. I'll tell you the definition of a commission-based financial planner. That is a financial planner that converts your assets into commissions. All right, and they do. That's unfortunate, but they're driven by money just like we are, you are, and the more they can earn, the better they live. And so that's the way that dog hunts. You know, you just have to be aware of that fact going in. But some people's comfort zone is to let other people do things for them, particularly when it comes to investing money. I have no issue with that. However, be damn careful in selecting a financial planner, because you're letting them invest your money at their discretion. And can that lead to some issues? Yeah, it can. And if you get with a reputable outfit, that's been in business 50 or 100 years, you got about a 90% chance everything's going to work out. But even there, you saw some of the things that happened in 2008 when we had the financial crash or whatever the hell it was. And those things can happen. And if those of you that have your money in a 401k now have seen what happens when the market goes down. You have about half as much now as you had 5 years ago, or whatever it was, because the market has trended down. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Will it come back? Well, the theory is it always does. Well, I don't know, man. You do you, but once you're at 60 or in that range, I would suggest going with, you can go with bond funds, mutual funds. You can do a lot of cute little mutual fund things, and they're pretty safe. And some of them have been in business for 50 years or more, So, you can, but they charge a fee. They're upfront about it. Some of them are what they call front-end load, where they charge you the fee up front. Some of them are what they call back-end load, where whenever you take your money out, they charge you the fee. But either way, they're going to get their fee, okay? Because you'll hear, if you're talking to a broker or somebody, they'll say, oh, there's no upfront fee. And they're telling you the truth. There is none. But when you get your money out, there is. I mean, what's the difference? None. So anyway, basically, do a budget. I would recommend managing your own money. I would. Why? It's not that hard. You can do a little reading, a little research. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Diversify, so as one goes down, another one goes up. You know what I mean? Have you some hedges against inflation? And you can read all of that. It's not that difficult. I know a lot of you think it's really complicated and you're scared to do it. But just try it, you know what I mean? Take a small portion of your money, and but again, when you start investing your money, be sure you're dealing with a reputable group of people. Of course, because some of these people are in business today and out of business tomorrow, and you got to know that up front, because some of these financial planners, they're just one individual. If you wake up in the morning and read the newspaper and that person's been killed in a car wreck, what do we do now, Alfie? Yeah, it's so dealing with a larger organization is unfortunately probably better, but that large organization needs more money to live on. So we're just talking, guys. So we talked about getting ready for retirement, planning for something to do. Then we talked about doing a budget. That's the biggest part of your financial plan, knowing where you are, know your numbers. How much do I need to live on? If you have some medical issues, how much is that going to cost me out of pocket after insurance? And then you got to get Medicare and all that stuff and factor that in. But yeah, but all I can tell you is keep it simple. Sometimes I think the less you have, the more you have, but when it comes to money, I might have to reverse that. The more you have, the better off you are. Yeah, I've never had a problem with too much money. No. Unfortunately, you can. You know, you get you start dealing in millions of dollars. You can forget where you put 100,000. You know what I mean? There was a guy I dealt with many years ago that he had a computer printout because all he did was certificates of deposit. He would not do anything else, which was fine with me. I didn't care what he did. And but yeah, he had probably $7 or $8 million tied up in CDs, but he didn't want to exceed the insurance limit. I don't know what it is now. You can probably get around 200,000 FDIC insurance on a CD. I'm not sure. I haven't dealt with it in years. But just pick a number. But he wanted to stay within the insurance guidelines so that if that bank went belly up or something happened, he'd get his money back because he was pretty smart. And so yeah, but he had a computer printout. It probably had 70 banks with account numbers and CDs and stuff that every month he'd be sure he got all of his interest income, or not every month, but whenever they paid the interest in. Some of them do it quarterly, and but yeah, but again, my opinion, again, which is worth what you're paying for here, nothing. Keep it simple if you can. There's nothing wrong with CDs. There's nothing wrong with treasuries. Okay, there's nothing wrong with those because they're very safe. Treasury bills, treasury bonds. They may not have the highest yields, but they got the lowest risk, and that's exactly how the yields work. The lower the yield or return, the lower the risk. The higher the return or yield, the higher the risk. I mean, if somebody says, "God, we have a bond here that's paying 20%," well, yeah, they may a junk bond. Your chances of getting paid are slim, and getting the bond back, or getting the full value back at some point, it may not happen. You start investing in class B plus and B's and stuff. Some of them can be good. You have to, but again, that's where you'd have to know, do some research and crap. And municipals, if you're in a tax bracket where you want to get income that is tax free, well, you get into municipal bond funds. That's tax free income. And a mutual fund of municipal bonds, that's probably a safe way to go because they'll have a whole spread of municipal issues, and you're not all in one issue or bond, because they're issued by cities, counties, I guess. There's drainage bonds, sewer bonds, all kinds of stuff, and you have to kind of evaluate. Okay, is this city growing? You wouldn't want to own any Detroit municipal bonds, I don't think. I mean, or some of these cities that are going down the tube. But I've kind of rambled on here, and I've kind of enjoyed the crap out of this. But how do I invest my money? I don't. No, my money is, I'm all cash. That's it. And real estate. And there's nothing wrong with real estate. There's nothing wrong with, if you want to handle it, some rental property, nothing wrong with that. How about anything else I can think of? Land is a good investment. I don't have any issues with that at all. If you know the area, then you're good. But yeah, real estate and cash, that's what I've got, and that's it. I don't have any bonds, no stocks. I looked at Tesla, but Tesla grew real quick because they had the monopoly in the EV or electric vehicle market. Now there's competition coming in, and there's some issues with getting enough lithium ion for the batteries and for the cars and stuff that we're producing. However, a lot of people think that's going to be a big issue. I don't. I think that necessity is the mother of invention, and right now they're using lithium ion mainly, and some other stuff, other metals. And what you're going to find is there'll be a breakthrough, and here comes something new, and that's the way it'll go on forever. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to pull in here to the La Fonda Ranch and turn around. Why? I don't know. But enjoy your life, and and enjoy, plan your retirement. It's not that difficult, and some of you guys that have a defined benefit pension plan, you know, that's not bad because it's calculated for you, and you get that for a long time. Some of the corporations have set those up. So anyway, guys, from out here in the middle of nowhere at the La Fonda Ranch, Coke Ranch, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want anytime. Use the Amazon link if you choose to. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, stand guard at the door of your mind. And that's something else I'll mention whenever you retire. Keep exercising your body and your mind, okay? Do yourself a budget, and you'll be fine. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.